Hello and welcome to Sporting Presents Random Team Game. I'm Nuff and I'm joined by Iggy.
Hello!
Hello. And today's match is between Operation and Ratsportz, who are like mouse sports, only play Rat Dota, I imagine.
Radiant team
Push to win, man.
Push to
break
win.
the base. Ratsportz have actually only played 3 games so far. Getting some interesting wins with very interesting drafts, actually. Went for an Aura strat and it turned out to be a win, so...
10 seconds remaining.
Those first 3 games.
Indeed.
As for
Playing
Operation,
Remaining.
what about that?
They played an awful lot of games. A lot of losses in there, but fairly standard drafts. I don't think we're going to see anything out of the ordinary, so to say.
Okie dokie, so the more experienced team up against a team that's only just kind of got through the first 3 games of their team match
10 seconds
experience. It should be rather interesting. I am going to side with the
Radiant team man.
Operation and their experience. I think it's going to take this match against Ratsportz.
I'm going to go for the plucky underdogs. I'm going to take Ratsportz. I'm going to lose, but I'm going to take the plucky underdogs. I don't give a damn.
I like the way that you're really
10
confident
seconds
in your
remaining.
pick.
No, I'm not.
You're just doing
I'm really not confident in my pick.
5 seconds remaining.
It's the sarcasm. You're just picking it deliberately
Dire team pick.
to be against me in this match.
Radiant team pick.
I don't know. I'd rather see Ratsportz walk away with it. It's only their 4th game, so it could be a big confidence boost for them.
Confidence is a dangerous thing in Dota.
That's pretty dangerous.
Wow, that game playing Broodmother mid was great. I should do that again.
No, please don't do it again.
So we've got Darks here pick up for Operation. Of course, probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest offlaner in the game.
10 seconds
Indeed,
remaining.
indeed. It's just his ability to play against a tri lane is
5
just so
seconds
fantastic.
remaining.
And if he gets up against a solo lane, well, troll creep skipping ahoy.
Reserve time.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, he always ends up being the guy buying the mech as well. And because he gets so good farm, he gets the mech early, and early mechs equal early team fight wins. So, and that can really change how the game is going to pan out.
Getting a mech past 20 minutes, I mean, you can still say it's a very, very good advantage, but it loses a lot of its play. In those early team fights where 250 health is a quarter of a hero's health pool. Ooh, nice lifestealer pick there.
Whether or not they're going to pick up something that pairs with him right away, like a puck.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Visage has been banned out, and really good combination.
No Visage Bird Bomb. Well, they might just play it without the bomb. They might be thinking...
Oh, no. There's
No! I was going to say, maybe they'll be thinking about, well, we need to pick up some decent supports for our tray lane. They're more important than the mid. And no, they've gone for a puck, so they're definitely going to have some bombs going off here. They've got their initiator, and they've got their flat-out explosive damage in the lifestealer.
There is that one big problem, is that picking up your mid this early generally isn't a very good plan.
Yeah, luckily they banned out the OD, though, which is a really strong counter to puck.
Indeed. You can still be up against something like a Beastmaster in mid, though, and that can really slow down your initiations.
What they won't be picking is a Pudge.
10
Yeah.
seconds remaining.
I wouldn't think so.
Space
Anyway.
shift!
So they've gone for a Naga Siren. Got a little bit of try-harding support Naga Siren going on here.
Radiant team
I do
man.
love Sigmund's and Naga Siren. I mean, she's such a fantastic support. If you can pick up farm on her, she transitions so well into the late game, because at the end of the day, she's an agility hero, and she's a carry.
She is a carry at heart, but she has some abilities that are just so goddamn useful. Outside of, just flat right-click damage, so...
I kind of just wish we'd see
10
teams
seconds
play her as a
remaining.
hard carry again. I mean, I know support Naga's what's popular now, but she can still carry for your team, and she's still got those abilities if she chooses to carry.
Would you
So.
rather see a Naga Siren running around assisting in ganks, or would you rather see a Naga Siren farming the
Right.
jungle with illusions?
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
So
10
support
seconds
Naga for the
remaining.
win. They've banned out the split push in the Nature's Prophet.
Also, banning out the
5
Timber
seconds
Saw,
remaining.
kind of unusual to ban that out this early on, I suppose.
He can go on an
Radiant
off lane, but
team
against
pick.
Darkseer, that's a really stupid pick.
I don't know, I think Timber Saw can do very, very well against the Darks here.
Only once he's got the levels, because the Iron Shell is actually the Iron Shell is magical damage, isn't it?
Indeed.
So yeah, it's going to hurt him a lot. Any melee hero up against Darkseer is going to suffer quite heavily.
That said, Timber Saw can last hit quite effectively by using his Whirling Death from a short distance away. And I mean, if he
10
chooses to
seconds
go on
remaining.
Darkseer, I mean, he can dish out so much burst damage that Darkseer just
5
has to
seconds
surge
remaining.
off the lane and has to sit under tower until he regens.
I think the Iron Shell would be too much too for
Reserve
him,
time.
but they've banned him out anyway.
Indeed.
He's also unlikely to be picked up as he plays normally in the mid.
I prefer
These
seeing
days.
off lane. It's more fun there.
Crystal Maiden.
Crystal Main pick up.
Dire team pick.
Her Frostbite and Lifestealer means ouch.
Indeed. It's a fantastic initiation tool to have for the Lifestealer because... Ooh. Alki pickup.
Radiant team pick.
I think this Alchemist pickup is going to really change the way their tri-lane's going to work because they can only possibly pick up one ranged hero on it now. And they're already against the Lifestealer and they're already against Crystal Maiden, and you don't want to be in close to the lane when there's a Lifestealer around because he gets one open wounds on you, and it's the same initiation it's always been. You're slowed to hell.
With the Naga Siren pickup, I imagine they're going to be going for a defensive tri-lane. So they're probably
10
trying to
seconds
avoid the Lifestealer, Crystal Maiden, and whatever other support lane they pick up, and
5
rather lane
seconds
against their off
remaining.
laner.
Indeed.
Darkseer is going to be on the duty of making Lifestealer's life a living hell with Iron Shell, but he's
Reserve
not going to give a
time.
crap.
That said, with picking up the Naga Siren, there is the possibility to go defensive against the Lifestealer because, I mean, she's such a fantastic counter to him in nearly every single one of her abilities.
It's whether you can think the Alchemist can outfarm the Lifestealer, which, let's be fair, he can do. He can
If the Lifestealer doesn't get pickoffs and if the Lifestealer doesn't start involving himself on those early kills.
On a tri-lane versus tri-lane, we've both got free farm, Lifestealer is going to win,
Dire
and yeah,
team pick.
time to ooh, Spirit Breaker pickup. Will he be on the tri-lane?
I'm expecting to see him on the off lane, to be honest.
I wouldn't like to be that Spirit Breaker on the off lane against the Darkseer if it comes up against the Darkseer. If he's up against the tri-lane, even less.
It's even worse, yeah. Spirit Breaker is one of those heroes where you can really struggle to find a spot for him. I mean, it's possible to put him in the tri-lane
10
and run the
seconds
Lifestealer on the off lane, but I don't think he's going to get the same farm that way, and he's certainly not going to do
5
as well
seconds
against the
remaining.
Darkseer.
Now we're looking for things to pick for the Alchemist. I'm thinking possibly a
Reserve time.
Indeed.
support.
Some fantastic styles to steal even clear. I can't
Oh.
speak tonight again either.
Well, I'm losing my voice, so you might have to take over halfway through this.
We're literally just going to sit there halfway through this.
He's just going to dribble, and I'm just going to croak. But Jakira
Radiant
being the
team
pickup.
ban.
Really solid stun, and it sets up because I mean, you pop the Naga in snare, then you get the Jakiro stun, and then followed up by the Alchemist stun. I mean, that's so much disable coming out from that
It
lane.
also works wonders in defensive, like I said.
Indeed.
10 seconds remaining.
So I'll be curious to see how they're going to lane it. I'd be inclined
5 seconds
to
remaining.
I'd be inclined to lane it against the offlaner and just try to get this Alchemist
Dire
really
team
far
ban.
as quick as possible.
Indeed. You want to outpace this Lifestealer, and I mean, if Lifestealer can't get kills, he will lose out in the long farm wars to the Alchemist.
Also, with a single target on lane with the stun and the Nagasaring and Snare and the Alchemist, they could possibly kill him off a couple of times, forcing him to go in jungle, which of course
Indeed.
lets them
Radiant team
farm
pick.
up their own jungle for the Nagasaring and Jakiro levels, which are really important and really helpful.
Indeed.
Going for the last pick, which is probably a support, unless it's going to be a Spirit Breaker support on lane, which is possible.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, yeah. See, the problem with Spirit Breaker is he really does benefit from having gold. He really does benefit from building things like the Massive Madness, and he needs a BKB for all intents and purposes,
10
especially
seconds remaining.
against this Operation team.
Yeah, the problem is, Spirit Breaker is one of those heroes that doesn't
5
lane
seconds
particularly
remaining.
well. He also is crap at coming back into a game because he can't flash farm very well.
That
Reserve
said, if he does get put up against the single lane of Operation with his tri-lane, I can really see them doing wonders there.
Windrunner looking like the support, so yeah,
Dire team pick.
I'm going to go and say Windrunner off lane, Spirit Breaker is going to be in the tri lane. Although
I don't know. I
hard
think
to say.
those two are a bit interchangeable. I don't know where we're gonna.
I just don't. I think that Windrunner is going to get more out of an off lane than Spirit Breaker is. She can go, okay, this is not working. I can just go farm the Ancients.
Indeed.
They're on Radiant, so she can just go farm the Ancients. Are they on
Indeed.
Radiant?
10
Yeah, it's a
seconds remaining.
fantastic thing for Windrunner to do, actually. You can power shot down the trees and just
5
sit there
seconds
and just
remaining.
constantly auto-attack into the Asian camps, and they'll never get a right click on you.
No, well, as the Spirit
Reserve
Breaker,
time.
will get absolutely nothing on the off lane if he's up against a tri lane. Even against Darkseer, he's going to have a bit of a nightmare unless he's bringing a lot of regen with him. Maybe they have Windrunner as a support and they pull him a little bit more in the regen stake so he can kind of go up against the Darkseer.
Indeed.
And of course, it depends on obviously where they're going to lane as well. Spirit Breaker could go on the safe lane, and they could have the... Because I'm thinking the Alchemist is going to be on the safe lane.
Yeah, definitely.
So the Darkseer will be able to do his favourite trick against the Spirit Breaker if he's on the off lane, which is of course skipping the creeps and forcing Spirit Breaker to tank creeps and fight under his tower, which makes the last hit more difficult.
I think one thing which is worth noting is we keep talking about the Naga Aoki Jakiro being a defensive tri lane. It has a huge possibility to go aggressive as well.
It works in both senses. They can easily engage and they can also easily defend with it.
Indeed.
Which is nice. Crystal Maiden, less so in the defense stake. She's a lot more squishy. She's really slow. Frostbite isn't a proper stun.
Indeed. I kind of think she's going to be food if Jakiro manages to get an Ice Path on her with an Alchemist following up the Unstable Concoction.
You can almost kill her with a fucking full stun.
Indeed.
About level 2. If you've got a level 2 Concoction, it'll do a hell of a lot of damage to a Crystal Maiden.
Some interesting bans as well. I mean, we saw the Ratsportz banning up the Templar Assassin. I mean... Ooh! Can we swap teams?
No, they're my team, sorry.
I know Ratsportz have Windy. They have my Windy, but man, come on, the Storm Spirit. We're always going to see a hyper-aggressive game when we see that Storm come out.
Yep, he needs to snowball and he needs to make sure he does it before the Puck. And, well, I mean, Puck versus Storm Spirit, relatively good matchup. I mean, once Puck silences up, Storm Spirit's in a bit of a pickle, but he should be able to trade blows with him, and I think he probably just about edge out Puck in mid if he's careful.
That said, the Storm Spirit does have a reasonable amount of disable to deal with. I mean, actually, that said, he's pretty good. I mean, you have the bash on Spirit Breaker, and you have Windrunner's Shackle Shot, but the freezing or Frostbite won't stop you from ball lightning away. And I mean, the silence isn't really that long with Puck. It's only 3 seconds, so...
Up against the Storm Spirit, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes over the silence. I mean, upgrades the silence over
Illusory Orb.
His Illusionary Orb, which is normally what they build.
Indeed.
But yeah, they took as long as possible to pick their hero so they could discuss, and now they're taking a little bit of a puppy pause to discuss a bit more. Just discussing how they're going to lane.
Level 1 smoke, so probably going to see a little bit of aggression coming out here. Spirit Breaker appears to be going mid, so we might see Puck on the off lane. Oh no. See, why do I even bother calling things?
Wait until the match starts before you start calling the lanes.
I'm so bad.
Lifestealer's going down to the easy lane. So yeah, Spirit Breaker. That passive stun you mentioned doesn't exist if I play it, but I mean it's a 17% chance, so it's not something you can rely on.
Indeed.
His charge, on the other hand, does perform a greater bash when it lands as well, so that's a good initiation.
As does Nether Strike, so he does have the options to go for a really good solid stun. So
yeah, and he's one of those interesting heroes as well, in that, you know, oh well, yeah, most of his stuff is physical. If I just go Ghost Scepter, I'm safe. No, you're not. His ultimate's magical. It does a hell of a lot of damage. So
indeed. And the bonus damage from Greater Bash is also magical. And of course, actually, in fairness, you can't right click you through Ghost Scepter.
No, you can't.
I'm terrible to do.
However, that being said, your Scepter, great item against him.
Indeed.
What's Jakiro doing? Oh, he just sat there.
The battle begins.
Windrunner is going to be doing these Ancients constantly.
Yep.
She's already started power shotting her way through them.
I'm trying to see where... It looks like they are going to put an off-lane Spirit Breaker. He's going to be up against this tri-lane, and I think he's going to get very little farm, and he's going to get killed off.
Indeed, he needs to just remain in XP range and not die off constantly.
He's also got an observable, which I imagine he's going to place around here just to either block the camp...
It appears that the operation supports are already dewarding at level 1, and they're kind of hanging around these Ancients, so I was expecting them to go and try and interrupt the Windrunner.
Well, he's got a ward there so they can't stack the camp any longer, which which is good, but he didn't stop the original spawn. Wasn't quite quick enough. It's actually soloing against the Alchemist in a minute, but here comes the Naga Siren. Poor little Spirit Breaker, what are you going to get up to? I want to keep an eye on him for the time being. There is a pull going on by Jakiro, which is... I don't know why he's pulling. Oh, he's trying to stack, but he can't use this ward.
Not noticed the ward then. Probably pop a sentry to deal with it in a second. Still got...
he doesn't see it because...
That's it.
Because of how
the sentry
obvious...
ward does have enough range, so he can see it from around the front.
Just going to de-ward that. And be happily stacking them again when he gets a chance.
These lanes are going very, very interestingly. Darkseer is just jungling, so Lifestealer's free farming. Crystal Maiden's getting the most out of the jungle by just doing pull-throughs. Ooh.
Oh, didn't see that happening.
What's this? A fascinating substance.
Puck getting very low there, but managing to pick off Storm.
Good dive. I didn't see who initiated the dive, but Storm Spirit getting himself killed off, which is not great, and that, of course, is Puck's bottle.
Indeed.
Storm Spirit way behind. Only got one tango left for Regen as well. It's not going to be a fun lane for him from now on.
That said, he's got 400 gold, so if he gets a few more last hits, he's still going to be able to finish up that bottle nice and quickly.
I like what they're doing at the minute. Operation. They've got the Darkseer, like you said. He's just jungling. It's like, oh, you know what? Okay.
Indeed.
I'm gonna die in this tri lane if I stay on it. So
Windrunner's jungling too.
Yeah, Windrunner's jungling as well, because they just go, yeah. Well, it's just safe at the minute because no one's on lane, so Lifestealer is happy just to like free farm away. The problem is he's not going to be able to out farm the Alchemist. Of course, the Alchemist, he's got Gods of Haste, so he's going to rush in Midas as well, and they're going to be stacking the camps for him like we saw, so he's going to get ahead of the Lifestealer
very quickly.
So it'll be very interesting. It's going to be about pickoffs in this game, I think. They need to make sure this Alchemist doesn't get out of hand.
Indeed. And by the same measure, I don't think the Lifestealer is going to be really involved in these pickoffs. He's got to rotate across half a map to be able to help out. So
yeah, it's not going to happen until Puck starts rotating.
Indeed.
Oh, looks like he's going on Storm Spirit again. The silence comes out. Not enough damage to bring him down, but very close.
Indeed.
Bottle just in time. He's actually going to have to put it straight back on the courier. Oh no, he's thinking about it.
I think he's going to choose not to.
Oh, he is. He just wanted to give it further back so it wouldn't get killed off by the Puck.
I think he wanted to use a little bit of mana with the static remnant, so he got the most out of his bottle.
Interestingly, I love the Darkseer, of course. He's jungling. He doesn't have a Stout Shield at the minute, so it's a pretty tough order for him in a minute.
Spirit Breaker actually 5-1 on this off lane. He's doing surprisingly well, and he's not taking that much harass.
It's because the waves pushed in a minute. When they do a pull through, it'll become a lot more dangerous for him.
Indeed.
They should be doing a pull through at some stage.
But yeah, I think both teams are making absolutely astounding use of the map at the moment. I think maybe less so with OPERASYON because they're really not making the most out of this bottom lane right now with the Darkseer jungling. I mean,
yeah, he could have been doing harassing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He could very easily
It
get
has no
on
arms
them.
to defend itself.
There's always the risk of him getting caught out though, and Iron Shell does push the wave, so I think it's probably just a let's be safe.
Phases up on Lifestealer. I'm not really sure this is the best idea. I mean, he's not going to be getting kills early on. I think it'd be a lot safer going a little bit later on, but still,
again, he's up against an Alchemist.
By the gods, the Dire's bottom tower doesn't even have
He's not
arms to
going to
defend
outfarm the
itself.
Alchemist. He has
What
to
a
just
brave
start
tower.
killing a lot earlier and get this game
that's very true, I suppose.
advanced
Dire's
against his
bottom
team.
tower is under attack.
For the Alchemist
Run, little bottom tower.
Because even
Run.
though he's really good at farming, he needs to get up his Midas, and then he needs to get his Shadow Blade. He probably needs to get his phase boots up as well. Unless they're going for power.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Run, little
Indeed.
bottom tower. Run.
Spirit Breaker's still not dying on this off lane.
They don't need to kill him. He's not going to get enough farm to really cause a
By
problem.
the
at
gods,
this point.
the Dire's bottom tower
He's
doesn't
getting a
even
lot
have
of levels
arms to
though.
defend
He's
itself.
level 5
What a
already,
brave.
so.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Oh, Puck finishes off Storm Spirit in mid again.
Yep.
Good use of an illusion rune there.
In the meantime, they also took the bottom tower as well.
And
Dire's
there's the
middle tower
Midas up
is
on
all alone in the
Alchemist.
world.
So
Being
yeah,
attacked.
Darkseer's been forced to come back and defend now.
Indeed, he's going to have to now. I mean, it's fair enough letting the tier 1 fall, but if you let that tier 2 fall as well, and Lifestealer gets that gold as well, he's really going to take this Alchemist much earlier on. Lifesteal are also going for Drums of Endurance as well, so really going for the race car build.
Alchemist, of course, statting up. He's been for 2 in Unstable Concoction and 2 in Grievel's Greed, so he's going to max out that Grievel's Greed as soon as possible, which is you knew was coming when he picked up the Midas.
Indeed. He's looking to outfarm this Lifestealer.
And he's very capable of doing so as well. Because Lifestealer looking for something to eat.
Indeed.
Now the Darkseer's on lane to contest. Just because they've already pushed the tower. Doesn't want to push it any further.
I actually want to point out now is that Operation are... They've really left these supports get under-leveled. Both of their supports still level 3. Alchemist level 4. And Spirit Breaker's level 6 with the puck rotating up to help. They're going to go on this Alchemist and they can kill it. And the Jakiro.
Oh dear.
That was a fantastic rotation from the puck there.
Yeah, he rotated just after the wards had gone down, so they didn't know he was coming. It was, yeah, real good rotation by the puck. He's been a massive playmaker in this game so far. He's picked up 3
Radiant's middle
kills,
tower is
got
under
the
attack.
assist on
That's
the
not
Alchemist, I
gonna
think, as well.
hold.
And he's brought down the Storm Spirit and stopped him from getting out of hand. So,
And you said this
definitely in the
Alchemist was going to do badly on
The
that.
Radiant should
You said
really do
Spirit
something
Breaker
about
was
that
going to do
middle
badly
tower.
on this against this tri-lane.
I said he can easily get killed off. They just haven't bothered. That's
kind
much more content.
It's kind of surprising. I mean, they've just let their support sit on lane, just sapping experience from the Alchemist.
In the meantime, you've got Crystal Maiden busy farming.
Indeed.
And she's got her boots, she's happy.
Puck's level 9 to Storm Spirit 7 at the moment, isn't it?
And we're looking at Windrunner. She's happily building towards her phase boots.
Indeed. We have
To charge. Where are you going, my son? It's going to be Storm
to
Spirit.
mid on the Storm Spirit.
He has backup though. Smoked up, so this
Indeed.
could go horribly wrong. Oh, the bash!
Oh,
Good things there, stopping the attack on. Oh, and the surge up on the Storm Spirit. They're looking for some kills. I don't think they've been moved quick enough though. Silence coming up on Storm Spirit. He can't do a lot now. They're going to go and try to pick off the Spirit Breaker. Good stun.
stun.
A lot of damage. They should be able to bring him down, but no! He is sucked away.
Oh.
He still can't bring him down. Oh, now he's dead.
Puck picking up a triple
In the
kill from
meantime-
it though.
Yeah, that's not a good trade. Losing all your both your supports and your offlane just for their Spirit Breaker.
Yeah,
Poor
definitely.
Radiant's top tower is under
A Spirit
attack.
Breaker was also around for 2 of the kills to siphon off that experience and the assist gold. So,
They lost the assist goal for dying.
well, yeah.
Dire's bottom tower
Going
is
very
under
badly
attack.
for Operation so far.
Radiant's
Rats seem
middle
to be
tower
in
is under
complete
attack.
control, but
That's not
do you think
gonna
that's still
hold.
going to be the case once this Alchemist is sitting on a little bit more than a Midas and
Dire's
power
bottom
traps?
tower is under attack. Run, little bottom tower.
Once he
Run.
gets a damage item like the Shadow Blade, which let's be honest, is pretty certain he's going to pick up.
Indeed.
By the
he'll
gods,
become much
the
more
Dire's bottom tower doesn't even have arms to defend itself.
At the moment,
What a
he's
brave
just a
tower.
liability. He just has to farm up.
But yeah, Lifestealer's just happy to just jungle now after his lane's basically pushed permanently onto the tier 2.
Yeah, we've got a couple of stacks to get through thanks to his supports doing a good job on that.
Indeed. Crystal Main's been doing her exact job this game so far. See if rotation is the Dire jungle, but just a ward, I believe, from Jakiro.
Totally unaware of that lifestealer.
Indeed. Well, they know he's missing from the maps. They know he must be in the jungle somewhere.
Keep farming, the little Windrunner. Keep farming. Crystal Maiden's actually happy to rotate and keep an eye on the Spirit Breaker up top while he's See, this is the problem now. Now, he might have suffered early on, but he's just getting farm up here now. Building towards the items that he needs.
Indeed. Probably could get an early BKB up on him. I mean, there's a reasonable amount of disable coming up from Operation. I mean, you've got the Jakiro and the Storm Spirit, both with their stuns and pulls. And also, don't forget, you can't be stopped by Naga's
Storm
no
Spirit
bomb.
again, but being counted out.
Indeed. I think Puck saw the other 2 supports there and basically realised it wouldn't go over. Oh, they're killing off the Alchemist in the jungle!
Guess you didn't
Yeah,
know
Dire's
the
top
team.
tower
I just
is
saw the
under
cluster
attack.
of icons and
Oh, that's got to hurt.
teleported up there just to see the Crystal
I
Maiden
missed
pick
it
it.
again, I'm a little bit behind today. Oh, forgive me everyone. All of the action, it is wasted. Binknagger on puck. Now
The
they're
Dire's
in
top
real
tower
trouble.
is
They
doing
can
its
finish
best,
off the
but it
Storm
doesn't
Spirit if they
look
turn around far before the other supports get here.
He's gone way ahead. He's bashed up. He needs to do some damage. He's doing very little actually. He needs to just back out now. He's just got on the Crystal Maiden, but then
It's going to be a TP here.
oh, good charge. That's a very dead looking Storm Spirit. In comes the Alchemist though with a stun up. Needs to throw it. Throws it. Crystal Maiden. She's dead. Last hit as well taken by the Alchemist. He really needed that.
That said, I think it would have been wiser for him to throw that stun out on the Spirit Breaker. I mean, I think they could have still finished off the Crystal Maiden. I mean, Jakiro's Ice Bath was just coming off cooldown, so I think she was dead either way. The advantage of getting the Spirit Breaker as well would have been much greater.
Possibly, but when it's the heat of the moment, you're going to be thinking of, I need to kill something. That Crystal Maiden's squishy. I need to kill.
Kill, smash.
He's got his Claymore off for his charge coming in on the Jakiro. So there's the Alchemist as well, he hits him. In comes the puck with a rotation. That's a very dead looking Jakiro. Actually, it's going to be a very dead Dark Siren as well. Alchemist on the run, going back behind his tower.
This puck and Spirit Breaker, an absolutely lethal combination so far.
Yeah, the communication between them is great, and this ward, this little observer ward here, keeping an eye on the
Radiant's
lane.
middle tower is under attack.
We're trying to do a little bit of damage to the tower, but too afraid to stick around.
Alchemist has wandered back into his
do
jungle
something
and
about that
he
middle
got picked off in this exact easy camp a few minutes ago. I mean, he needs to be very careful when he decides to do something like this.
Well, he can
The
see
Radiant's
them
bottom
currently
tower
up
has
top in
seen
his
better
tower,
days.
so they actually you can't see them now. Oh,
Dire's top tower is under attack. Oh, that's got to hurt.
He knows he just needs to farm. Needs to farm.
Spirit Breaker pulling through up top into the hard camp to keep the push going. Really good play from him there.
Meanwhile, you seem to have like meandering
Dire's
lost
top tower
support.
is
Not
under
knowing
attack.
what they're doing. Level 4 Jakiro.
We see a 3-man rotation up to top lane now, so probably going to look to kill off the Spirit Breaker and Crystal Maiden before they get the tower.
Alchemist needs to be careful not to get caught off guard early on. Yeah, Invisible Storm Spirit is going to look for something. Ensnare goes up. Spirit Breaker's going to charge straight into her. But out comes the invisibility. They're going to do
Is
a
there
nice
enough
chunk of damage.
damage,
The stun. The
Oh,
stun
he
maybe.
stuns himself!
Oh, that's a very unhappy Alchemist caught in Crystal Maiden's ulti. In comes the save of the no fun Naga Siren. That's going to be a very dead Crystal Maiden, actually. Oh, Frostbite up on the Alchemist so he can't pursue.
Oh, what I miss?
She's still alive! Stun comes out, finally brought her down.
That's sad, they're going to lose.
Comes the Puck, finishes off the Alchemist.
Oh, here's
Green
Puck.
curls up Storm Spirit, he snaps out of it, but he's going to get stunned for it, and he's
Naga
brought down
denies
as well.
himself to the hard camp.
Oh, charges coming out, Jakiro. Run, Jakiro! It's not going to be enough. Angry Space Cow is going to kick the living shit out of him as well.
And they're going to get a tower as well.
Oh my
Dire's
goodness,
top tower has
it's
fallen.
looking really
It was only
bad.
a
There
matter
we
of
go
time.
towards the graphs. Difference in experience, over 10,000. Difference in gold. We're looking at 8,000.
12,000 actually now. It's still spiking. I mean, that's the kind of advantage you see when you see 16 kills on the board compared to 3.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. I feel sad for
It's
them.
not looking good. It's not looking good at all. They need a really good team fight. I mean, they've got the abilities with the Darkseer. You've got
Indeed.
Nagasara can set up. Storm Spirit is behind at the minute, but he can still do a little bit of damage to Jakiro's Macro Pyre. You know, if he was actually a level high enough to use it, level 5 at the minute.
Well, I mean, Alchemist is rapidly running out of safe places to farm now. I mean, he needs to be really careful because this Spirit Breaker can kill him off solo if he doesn't get a stun up.
Also, I was talking about the Darkseer, of course, team fight wise. At the minute, he doesn't have his wall, so
Yeah.
Alchemist wants some farm.
I think they're going to look to try and kill off the Spirit Breaker up top now. We see a 5-man rotation to do
He
it.
can just charge away if
It's going to let Lifestealer take
Dire's
this bottom tier
tower is
too.
under attack.
Not
He's just
even
going to
here.
PP out. They got nothing. They got nothing, and they lost the tower.
Dire's
Well,
bottom
they're going for
tower
this
is
tower.
under attack.
Lost tower,
Run, little
lost
bottom tower.
farm.
Dire's
There is a
structures are
fort. Maybe there's going
fortified.
to be a TP defense, but
He's going to get this.
seems they're not going to risk it.
Dire's middle tower is no longer a liability.
Lost the mid tower as well. TP
Oh
comes in.
dear.
Oh, good ensnare. Is it going to be enough? Yeah. He's not going to pursue after
Oh.
that now.
Puck
In the
screen
meantime,
field,
though-
up the storm.
He needs to put away. Charge hits him though. He's right outside his own tier 3. Can he escape? No,
Not with a
no,
spirit.
he can't.
Oh.
Oh, it looks like they're going to lose his Arca Siren as well. Damage coming out in the Dark Seas. They're going to go down to the Lifestealer. Oh, Naga picked off by Puck. He's probably going to die himself unless he can blink out. Lovely play. Can't deal with him. This is a real heavy stomp at the minute.
Spirit Breaker currently charging down bottoms, the Alchemist as well. I mean, he's already sitting on a Vladimir's and 1600 gold, so
Alchemist
this Spirit Breaker
thinks
is really
he's got
getting...
away. He hasn't.
This is GG called? I don't think it's going to quite end the game yet, unfortunately.
It is a GG though. I don't, there's no way back from this for me.
Fantastic play from Ratsportz, actually. We doubted them.
Dire's
That's the
middle
thing.
tower is all alone in
made
the
the Spirit
world,
Breaker work.
being attacked.
Yeah, but I think that was partly due to some poor decisions on the behalf of Operation. I mean, they didn't pick off kills on him, and their supports were still sat on lane, doing mild harass to him. And they really needed to be either making the most of the jungle or
Sleeping
killing.
ahead. But what's it setting up? Probably a kill in the Windrunner. He comes to Stormspirit, diving a long way to do it, and he did bring her down.
Here's the Lifestealer.
Puck is coming in looking for Stormspirit. And here comes a charge. Wham! Hits the Chikiro. So much damage! He's got nothing to do. He can't do anything. He even left the
Needs
last
to
hit for
kill
the
for
Lifestealer. Puck's still diving. Oh, he's going to blink out. Simons is up. The Dark
stun
Seer stun. Oh, they might look at a very dead Puck here.
That said, here's Lifestealer here to help. Puck phases out!
He's still going to have to come back. No, he's going to get out of this. Lifestealer picks up another kill on the Naga Siren.
Far too fed in a minute. He's
Oh,
got
dear.
a Hyperstone up and an armlet.
Darkseer's going to die as well. Down to the Lifestealer. Stormspirit's going to be charged up. And he joins the pile of dead bodies.
And Alchemist is
no,
behind.
Alchemist is also going to join them as well. Is there anyone
That
left?
was a
Just the
five-man
Chikiro who
team.
came back. GG, finally called by this team.
It was called 10 minutes ago. The game won't let them GG.
No, it was called by Puck. It was called by Puck saying they should GG. Completely, utterly smashed operation.
17 minutes and 50 seconds. That was a fantastic game of Dota, actually. Ratsportz doing everything well, and with really unconventional picks like the Spirit Breaker on the offlane and just leaving Windrunner to do the Ancients constantly.
Well, they predicted the lanes relatively well. I think they could have been more aggressive on the Spirit Breaker. He does have an escape, but
Did.
I think just go on him and save the ensnare for when he tries to run away, and then you've got
Indeed.
him.
I mean, you've still got the Ice Path and you've still got the Unstable Concoction to stun him up initially, so it's not like you're missing out on a huge amount, but Puck going 10-0-8 that game. Fantastic.
Yeah, man of the match for that Puck. His rotations were spot on. He just had really great map awareness, better than I did.
The amount of times they got triple kills with nothing but the Puck and the Spirit Breaker, that was just simply phenomenal.
Yeah, a really, really good play. Chikiro did get his level 6 before the end of the game, which is just lovely. But being sat on a claret he never used, some boots
And a magic stick.
and a magic stick kind of tells you how to go. Also, looking at the Alchemist, who had free farm for a good period of time, and he's got minutes good, sat on just a Midas and power treads and a Claymore, is incredibly painful.
Indeed. I mean, you're seeing the Spirit Breaker, who was solo laning against the tri-lane on a hero with absolutely no lane presence, with 2 less GPM than him. He just had nowhere to farm. After his lane kind of slipped away and Puck was rotating up to help gank, the jungle was being taken by the Darkseer, and what wasn't being taken by the Darkseer was being constantly controlled by the Spirit Breaker, the hard camp. So
Yeah, totally outplayed in every single lane.
indeed.
So there was very little they could do. They didn't win a single team fight. Even when they went hunting 5 men to find a Spirit Breaker, he just TP'd out and they got nothing.
And they lost to tier 2.
Yeah,
And they wasted the fortification on it without a TP to defend it.
They got a TP eventually, but it wasn't quick enough. It's just,
The tower was down by the time it landed.
yeah, it was incredibly painful to watch. For them, every single trade that came out went horrifically for them. It's like, yeah, we got the Spirit Breaker, but you lost 3 in mid. Oh yeah, we chased off the Spirit Breaker and you lost the tower. Every single trade was just horrific for them, and they just spiraled out of control really quickly, which is something that Spirit Breaker can do. And
As well as Puck, yeah.
both of them did incredibly well.
And Lifestealer as well, don't forget. I mean, He was happy.
Didn't do anything for majority of the game. He just turned up towards the end, punching supporters to death.
Well, the last 5 minutes, he just ate some things and was like, "Well, I've done my job here."
Didn't even need a carry at that point. They'd already won the game within 17 minutes.
Did. And I mean, they could have actually played that game with 4 men, I think. I mean, it wasn't that the lifesteal was bad. I mean, the lifesteal was a really good player, and he got the kills in those fights, but he wasn't needed. He just farmed, and by the time he had finished farming, the game was over, so...
The strength of your early snowballs.
Indeed. Fear the snowballers.
Fear them.
Fear the space cow.
I think the Storm Spirit was still a bad pick, personally, against a Puck. He was never going to have a great time against a Puck. Possibly, if he plays it passive, kind of...
Farming role.
Maybe break even-ish, kind of. But he has a silence, and what kills Storm Spirit?
Silences.
Exactly.
That said, it's not that long on Puck, so it's not a colossal issue.
If you can't run away and he can throw his nukes at you, it's going to really hurt. Especially if you initiate, which I think is what happened in mid. I missed the fight, I only got, excuse me, last couple of seconds when he got kicked off.
Aww.
Alas, what are you going to do?
Fine,
That's it for today. We'll be back with one more tomorrow, and then there's obviously the weekend. So, thank you very much for listening. Don't forget that you can, of course, follow us on Twitter. Please follow us on Twitter. Someone needs to follow us on Twitter. You'll find us at SproinkDota. It's be listed in the description. And, of course, you can also subscribe here. Please subscribe so you can watch more of our videos. We don't know what we're talking about. Please. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Cheerio.